Hey guys, so remember when I said I was done with making Saryn videos for a while? I lied, but the main reason I'm making another Saryn video is because one of my commenters actually asked me for a more beginner-friendly version of my melee Saryn build. So the very first Warframe video that I made. Um, I'm remaking that video with no helmet abilities, no prime mods, no umbral mods, um, and no arcanes. So it's just base mods. It is still a little Forma heavy, but and there's a couple rare mods, but nothing like super crazy in there. And I mean, this is really nice because I didn't have anything else lined up quite yet. I haven't been able to get back on Warframe and really like grind any like a new build out and put Forma into anything. Or even play the new content. Like I haven't messed with flare or the tech rot weapons. So I do want to get to that at some point, but haven't been able to play as much as I was. Speaking of which, I am running the new Saryn skin because the proto frames are fine. But yeah, and she actually ended up looking really good with my previous fashion frame. So, but let's get straight into the build. So if you haven't seen that other video, the whole point of big part of that build was kind of just like a really good melee Saryn build, and then I was focusing on the CM's heavy attack. So we're gonna do that same thing, but with some more regular mods. So again, we don't care about combo on this build at all because we're just focusing on the heavy attack. This build does do pretty decent damage with just light attacks, so that's cool. But we're mostly focused on status chance. So you can either run it with gas or blast. But so originally the very first build I had gas and electric and then melee influence, and that like made gas procs go everywhere and melee influence was procking on everything and just everything was exploding. Since we're doing it without arcanes this time, we don't have melee influence. So there's two ways you can really build this weapon. So you can either do gas or blast. I like gas because the dots seem to proc a little faster and the DPS comes out pretty quick. Blast, I felt like I was waiting for the blast proc, but then once it finally did go off, it would explode. We do have a little bit of crit on here, nothing too crazy on the crit. Killing blow for melee damage on heavy attacks and that little bit of extra wind-up speed. Melee prowess just to push us above that 100% status chance. And then condition overload is our main source of damage. While this weapon itself doesn't apply that many status effects, on its own, gas slash impact puncture was pretty nice. If you're not a fan of condition overload, you can just replace this with pressure point. But the reason I do put condition overload on is because I do have a priming weapon with it for those tougher enemies, which I will talk about now. My favorite priming weapon in the whole game is the Epitaph. It's actually easier to get now that it's primed, and it's usually worth getting even for other melee builds. So I've just got it on full-on multi-shot, and then corrosive radiation. The reason this thing is so good at priming is because it on the quick shot, it has so it has forced cold procs. It does blast and it applies heat. Oh no, that's for me. The heat is for me. So the electricity, cause that's not from my Archon shard. I was thinking that was from my Archon shard, but that's only on primary weapons. But yeah, it procs blast. We have radiation on with accelerated isotope, corrosive with pistol pestilence and jolt, and then status chance and status duration because we do want the viral and corrosive procs to last a little bit longer so we can get in there in melee. And then just anything with multi-shot on it. This thing also has force cold procs, so that's really nice. And then I do have a pet recommendation as well. So if you have a Panzer Volpophyla, it's definitely this is where all your viral is going to be coming. If you don't have a Panzer Volpophyla, because this guy, the build on this guy isn't super crazy. You can build him however you want. You just need its augment, which it comes with. So this spreads viral, and then I like duplex bond a lot because it makes them multiples of them come out. But if you don't have a Panzer Volpophyla, we're gonna actually go to the secondary and put corrosive on it instead. The spores will shred armor a little bit, but if for a tougher enemy and you want to just strip its armor real quick, where you're just gonna sorry, if you don't have the Panzer Volpophyla, you're gonna switch this to viral. So you drop this and put on cold. But yeah, and then you'll focus on the spores to do the armor stripping. But I like having corrosive to just strip a little bit faster. So let's and then the Saryn build is pretty standard. Again, no arcanes. I've always liked running her with health and armor more. So steel fiber, vitality, intensify. Those are your 3 base ones. I like range for the spores, and then blind range for a little bit extra strength. Regenerative molt for healing. Hunter adrenaline to keep your energy going. If you don't like Hunter adrenaline, swap it out for equilibrium, and you'll be good. Especially if you've got synth deconstruct on your pet, which helps you drop health orbs. That's another good way to keep your energy up. But yeah, so no arcanes. I do have Archon shards at the moment, but none of these really affect the build. The green ones do make it so the spores can fully strip armor, but yeah, I didn't feel like removing them just for the build. So, but I've talked for way too long, so I'll show you what the build can do now. So these are actually Steel Path enemies. Orokin Battle Group, level 170. So if you're fighting anything under than this, you should be good. Because even without all the extra stuff, you put on Toxic Lash, put the spores on, and then
target neutralized.
Yeah, they still die. And then if you are coming across a couple tougher enemies, what we would do is we would spawn these guys back in, and then we would just shoot the epitaph a couple times and spread the spores again, and then yeah, they die even faster. So you don't even need melee influence to make this this weapon work. But and then I'll show you what it looks like without the pet as well. But the pet definitely helps. But with no viral, it still does enough damage. The AoE isn't nearly as big without melee influence, but these guys still die. Although the green Archon shard is helping a little bit because it is fully stripping their armor. But even without that, the spores strip like 80% of their armor, so you should be okay. And then yeah, if you need a little bit faster armor stripping, you go like this. And then yeah, they still die even without the viral. And then another thing is, if you don't have the Panzer Volpophyla, you can just use Saryn's ult too, because that also applies viral procs. It only applies one though. The Panzer Volpophyla will apply more than just the one. But yeah, so that's kind of the beginner version of it. So I will show you what it looks like in a real mission now. Alright guys, we're back into a Steel Path mission. Again, no, still the same build I was doing in the Simulacrum. So no arcanes, no prime mods or nothing, no umbral mods. And it's still able to kill these guys pretty easily. The only thing the melee influence really does for this build is make it so it goes much farther. And then the red crits, of course, are nice, but it's not super needed until much later in the game. I am a decent amount more squishy without the umbral mods, but it's not impossible. And I don't even really need my secondary to kill these guys. With as long as my freaking pet there is applying viral, we should be alright. And then even if I'm not, I can ult and then get some viral stacks going like that as well. But yeah, you really just need heavy attack damage and a little bit of attack speed and then gas damage and then high status chance. If you can get those things going on this weapon, you should be fine. It doesn't even have to be my build exactly. But like stuff like Amalgam Organ Shatter that has specific heavy attack damage is yeah, I think it's called Amalgam Organ Shatter. That might be heavy attack crit damage. I already forgot. It's been a couple days since I did the first part of that video, so oh, okay. But yeah, you're much squishier this way. I'm not quite doing the level 200 enemies because I'm not doing the Void Fissure of this mission just because it wasn't available. But just the regular Steel Path version. I was gonna try to test it into like just some like regular one of the lower or like level 60 or 70 star chart missions, but I felt like it didn't really do the build that much justice. But yeah, so even without arcanes and the prime mods, this weapon can still absolutely wreck enemies, especially with Saryn's Toxic Lash. I might struggle a little bit against the Acolyte though. We'll see. There is that thing that sucks about this weapon where you get freaking stuck right after you do the heavy attack. That's always a little annoying. But yeah, the CM's heavy attack I think makes it my favorite melee weapon in the game. And then like even without the heavy attack, and this build specifically designed for heavy attacks, it still kills these enemies with the light attacks. Although these guys are armor stripped, but yeah, like it does fine.
Kidding me? Send me a challenge.
All right, let's see what I can do against the Acolyte here.
Sentient scouts.
Oh no, these are sentients. Okay, Acolyte's still not here. We'll get there though. Okay, now the Acolyte's spawning. If he doesn't one-shot me, he might one-shot me because I'm really not that tanky. Not without my Umbral mods, and I don't even have adaptation on, so.
Well.
Oh, and there's a Thrax. Okay, hold on.
Look out for troopers. The longer you hold out, the deeper I can search.
Yeah, he one-shot me. That, you definitely need adaptation, to survive those guys. Without adaptation, they one-shot you a little bit.
Destroy these ones.
If I could have survived him, I'm pretty sure I could have killed him. I will definitely see. I'll try to stay till the next one and see if I can kill one of them. So, I actually ran out of life support in the middle of that last mission, right after the Acolyte one-shot me. So there's that. I wasn't paying attention to my life support at all because I usually don't need to. So that was kind of a bad example, but I will definitely try to actually fight the Acolyte this time. I'm gonna have to be really careful about letting it hit me and just use my heavy attacks. And I'm gonna have to probably prime it with my secondary. But yeah, if there's any like hard to get mod to make Saryn Steel Path ready, grab adaptation. That mod helps a lot. I don't have it on this build because that is it's from like the what are they called, the special missions where you can get the galvanized mods. I decided to leave those out because they're kind of hard to get until you get to Steel Path. So, but yeah, it adds a lot of tankiness to Saryn. until then, you gotta just keep spamming regenerative molts.
Why don't we turn this chance meeting into a massacre?
Oh, one more thing I did want to mention. I am running Zenaruk right now to help with the energy a little bit. I usually run Matarai in
Find me another.
harder missions because I have a better hang on Saryn's energy with either Energy Nexus with God, I can't remember the name of anything right now. The Nourish from frickin' Grendel. That's how I keep most of my energy, so you don't really but that's how I get most of my energy later on, or Equilibrium with Synth Deconstruct, but that combo is much harder to pull off without the helmet. Or it's impossible to pull off without the helmet, but you don't get it till later. So I was trying to leave out helmet abilities too. So, what I was doing for a long time was doing Hunter Adrenaline plus Zenaruk. Because if you ever need energy, you can swap to Zenaruk, do this, and that helps a lot. Plus, it makes it so energy pickups give you more energy. So, that's helping a little bit as well. I should check the life supports. Where is the life support thing? Right here. Okay, so finally got another Acolyte. Hopefully this time without the Thrax. Because last time the Thrax were here and I couldn't survive both of them at the same time. Okay, I need energy though, so we're going to go like this.
When you're good and ready.
And then we're going to go over here and drop regenerative molts and then actually try to kill this asshole. And then we're going to... Oh, where'd you go? Where'd you go? There we go. That's all I wanted to prove, is that it would kill the fucking Acolyte. I did have to prime it, though, with my secondary. That was the only enemy so far I've had to prime. Okay. I just wanted to show that off in the video, at least. But my god, surviving to this point was difficult. There was a point where I had Sentient Fighters, Thrax, and the Acolyte all at once, and I couldn't survive. I died. And then I almost ran out of life support again. So, yeah. Adaptation. Get adaptation for your Saryn. But yeah, I'm gonna get the hell out of this mission. Whew. Alright, that's gonna be it for, like, the 4th Saryn video on my channel so far. I swear I'm gonna do stuff on other Warframes eventually. I just need to find some time to get on here and actually get some new builds going. This one I really only made because one of my viewers actually asked me to make a build slightly designed towards newer players, which was actually really fun. It was nice. It was interesting to try to make the build strong without using all my arcanes and primed mods and stuff. It's still fairly expensive, and there are still some rare mods in here, but at least I hope it'll give you guys a goal. I mean, if you like the CM and Saryn, hopefully it'll give you guys a goal as a build to, like, to start to work towards, and then eventually towards my, like, full-on version. It turned out to be still very strong. The only thing that I was really struggling with was surviving, actually. And I feel like if I just had adaptation on the Saryn build, I would have been fine. But that's gonna be it for this one. I hope to do. I want to get Flare. Honestly, Flare seems really interesting. And then I want to do something with one of the Coda weapons eventually. I haven't even started that yet. And I'm working on a build on, like, the AK-47. I really want to get that, what is it called? Biotic rounds? Oh, cool. I got the motorcycle skin.
Don't stop believing, dreamers.
This mod. Yeah, biotic rounds. I think this would be really interesting on my, like, self-priming Saryn build thing. Because then I can squeeze even more elemental effects out of my primary weapon. I think I could get like 7 with this, which should be interesting. But that's going to be it for this one, and I'll see you guys next time.